Hello, what is up, folks? Welcome back to another episode of so-called bird watching. My name is Johnny Jividen. Before we get started, make sure to hit the like button, make sure to subscribe, check out all our links in the description, etc., etc. You know the drill. Biggest news this week, obviously, the draft. Great 2 picks in the first round. We get Jordan Davis, which or not Jordan Davis, other guy, his teammate at Georgia, Jalen Carter, my bad. So we get him, and we trade up from 10 to 9 to get him. I really didn't think he'd fall that much, so I'm really surprised we were able to get him. And he's honestly probably the best player overall talent wise in the draft. I know he has off field issues or whatever. That's what caused him to fall. I didn't really know the extent of that before the draft. So I really thought he was going to be like a number 2 overall pick, which is what he would have been without, any sort of off the field issues. But anyway, also get Nolan Smith at number 30. I was really surprised that we weren't able to get Jahmyr Gibbs at 30. I really thought he'd be available. I really thought that, I definitely didn't see the Lions picking him at 12. They didn't really need him. But we ended up getting DeAndre Swift from the Lions. So, we get a really solid running back in him. Of course, another Georgia Bulldog. But yeah, we get Nolan Smith as an edge rusher. Also out of the University of Georgia. Got a lot of Georgia Bulldogs, basically the Philadelphia Bulldogs now. But, he's another guy that'll be really talented put in the rotation. Maybe see him as a third down rusher or something like that. We can expect to see Jalen Carter out there a lot, on the defensive line. And interior defensive line is a place that we needed, some, what's the word I'm looking for? Help out last year. That was probably our weakest position. While we end up getting Ndamukong Suh and Linval Joseph in the middle of the year. But, so obviously he's going to be a big help there. Hopefully those, he develops into the talent that everyone thinks he will be. But, other than those guys, we also ended up getting, let me think who else we got. We got a guy in the third. We didn't have a pick in the second round, and which I believe was because we traded to get DeAndre Swift. So basically DeAndre Swift was in a way our second round pick, which is a great second round pick because he's better than anybody you get in the draft because he's proven how capable he is of contributing in the NFL. So, but anyway, we got Tyler. Man, I can't remember his name. A lot of these guys I can't really remember their names, but he's a tackle out of Alabama, so he's got skill and pedigree. We got him at the beginning of the third round. And I like that pick. The rest of the picks are really just depth picks, more or less. Maybe guys that'll develop into starters in the future. Because obviously we got Lane Johnson and Jordan Mailata at the 2 tackle spots, so we don't really need an upgrade of those positions. But what we do need is depth, because obviously throughout our offensive line there was injuries and several things throughout the season that. We had guys in and out of the lineup, so having some solid depth at that position is definitely a good thing. Also ended up getting, what's his name? Ringo something. I can't remember what his first name is. Also out of Georgia, another cornerback, really athletic guy, great size, great build. And of course being a part of that Georgia defense, he went up against great competition. Again, a good pedigree, national champions. So we also got him. He'll be good depth at corner. And, give him a chance to learn from 2 of the best corners in the NFL, James Bradbury and Darius Slay. Eventually eventually those guys are going to be gone. Either they move teams or retire. So, I think he definitely has the potential to develop and, to someone who will be just as good, if not maybe even better than those guys. So I think he was a really solid pick. I know we also got, I think it's Sidney Brown He's a DB out of Illinois. He's a really physical guy, big hitter. From what I hear, from what I have seen of him or whatever. He's another guy, depth we need, of course, after losing C.J. Gardner-Johnson. At safety, he might be a guy that ends up starting sooner than later. You never know, but I think the plan here is just depth, and maybe developing him into something more later on. So I like those picks. I think they're great picks because we don't really need anything too flashy. Just guys that can get in the rotation, learn, develop, and down the line are really can contribute in starting positions. I think that's really the basic theme of the guys that we got past the first round, and even the guys in the first round to a certain extent, because we still got guys in the defensive line, and pass rushers that we can rotate in and out. But anyway, we also got in the 6th round, we got, can't remember the guy's name off the top of my head, quarterback Stanford. Again, depth pick. You never know what could happen. It's good to have, a couple quarterbacks on the roster. Obviously, after we signed Jalen Hurts to a huge contract extension, as much as I like the guy and I wish the guy the best. As long as he's on the Eagles roster, I hope we never see him take the field past preseason. I hope we never see him take the field except for maybe like if we're blowing a team out and we just want to throw him in or something, which we don't really do that much in the NFL, but still. I think it's in our best interest to not see him play, other than preseason, obviously. But because that would mean Jordan or Jalen Hurts is not playing, which Anyway, who our 7th round pick? We got a defensive tackle out of Texas. I don't know much about him. I know he's a 3-year starter, so it's a pretty solid guy. He'll be able to start 3 years at the University of Texas. This guy's no slouch. Again, it's good to have depth. Maybe see him develop into something. You never know how a guy will develop. And also, it's a 7th round pick, so not big expectations on him. But if he can contribute, that'd be ideal. But I think just really solid picks all around. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how these guys work out for the Eagles. I hope, of course, wish them the best while they're in an Eagles jersey. But, I think it's a really solid pick, a really solid draft by the Eagles. If you got to give it a grade, obviously I'm biased. I mean, this is the Eagles podcast. But, I got to give them an A+. Okay, maybe A+ is a little much. Well, no, I really don't think it is. I think if you look at the picks they have, I really don't think that there's better guys they could have picked. There's no one that I really thought, man, I wish they could have got this guy here. There's guys I definitely wish they could have got, but they were already gone by the picks we had. And I don't think they're particularly worth, drafting or trading up for or whatever. So, really, honestly, I think this was... it was probably a solid draft, to put it simply. So, but that's really all I got for the show today. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Make sure again to like and subscribe. Check out our new affiliate sponsor, Coffee Brand Coffee. The link is in the description. Click the link, you get 5% off. Use the promo code. You know the drill. We also have new merchandise to go with that Coffee Brand Coffee. If you go to our link in the bio for our merch store, we have new coffee mugs. So if you want buy a cup of coffee there and then get a mug from us to drink the coffee in, Synergy. It's called Synergy. It's a business term. Anyway, again, thanks for your support. And go Birds, Bing Bong.